Hello everyone and welcome back to Abstract Medicine. Welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are tuning in the world. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, and also pushing the notification bell as well to be notified when I will be posting my next videos. So well done everyone, we've made it through. It is August now, so pinch punch, first of the month, no returns. So we're going to be doing a general divine love spread. So it's going to be a general divine love spread. Please take the messages that resonate with you and leave the ones that do not. Everyone is on their own kind of divine love journey, so there's different waves of that happening and turning into physical union. This can take days, weeks, months, and years as well. So if this is not your reading, if this is not the reading for you, then you can definitely find more videos that I have on my Abstract Medicine playlist, or you can find another reader that suits you. If you're new to this channel, I am an artist and a healer. My main profession is artist. I'm an abstract painter and I absolutely love what I do. I'm here to uplift the world with my creations. As a healer, I'm here to guide you on your divine path, and that also includes divine love as well. So if you like what you see, then please do like, share and subscribe, and let's get started with the general love readings today. Or rather reading. So I have picked quite a few decks today. I think I must have like at least a dozen here, maybe 15. There's a lot. I like to get through for all of you for this general divine love. So I'm actually going to go straight with my intuition. So I'm actually going to go with the I've forgotten the deck now. Gaia Tarot. So I do not use these. I do not use this deck as a tarot card. I use this as an oracle reading, so I feel like the messages want to come through already. Just before we start, I'd like to have a cup of tea first. I've already called in the angels as well for guidance, and ancestors as well, and whoever other ascended masters that would like to join in as well to deliver some messages for the Divine Love Collective. So just before I get started, for those of you who are not aware of what the Divine Feminine energy is or the Divine Masculine energy is, then definitely go to a search engine and start researching that. I also have an amazing friend of mine called Amy Satori, Satori. She's incredible, and she offers information about different types of love. She's on YouTube. She's also on Instagram as well, and on many other platforms too. So you're more than welcome to have a look at what she has to say. She's an expert in terms of love. So yes, I will be talking about Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. So please, angels, ancestors, guides, please bring us the messages that we need to see for the Divine Love. Thank you so much. Okay, so already we have the King of Air here. So let's get some more messages. You might see by the filter, I've got like a little a heart filter here for you all. We also have thought. Someone is deep in thought. We also have number 5. So I did just say that I do not read these as tarot cards, but I will say that the 5 of fire, the 5 of Wands, does talk about conflict, competition and arguments. And then also lastly we have the 2 of Pentacles here. Yeah, so we've got 2 of Pentacles here. So there is a lady here who is juggling her eggs here. So maybe there's something here in terms of divine love where a lot of you are wanting to get pregnant, a lot of you are wanting to conceive, and a lot of you are actually ovulating at this time. So it's just a question of time, essentially. The 2 of Pentacles, as I said before, I'm trying not to read these as tarot, but I'm also looking at this filter. Can you see that heart sort of palpitating almost around her breast, her center here. So we also have like an actual heart there that you may be able to see right on her dress there, and it's right on her chest, right in the center. And this is someone who has a lot of love to give, and it's just a question of when, when they're able to share that love. I feel like this person has a lot of compassion, a lot of love to give, a lot of open heart space there. And I feel like a lot of you, especially divine feminines, who have been working on your heart space, this is confirmation for you. I'm now getting a bit of a headache, not in a bad way, but just a spinny head. So that usually means that the information is coming in very, very strong. My vortex is very, very strong at this time. I feel like some of you have tried to conceive before, and some of you have been unsuccessful. Some of you have not, it hadn't been the right time or even with the right person, is what I'm seeing here. I'm also seeing that there is a particular egg. There are 2 eggs with hearts in there. You may not be able to see them in the image, but they are there. So there's like one there and the other one is just there, sort of thing. And I see that there could also be a possibility of having twins here, or at least 2 children in succession. So that is something that's a possibility here. This is someone who, this divine feminine in particular, is someone who's made their money, has done very well for themselves financially. She's holding a money purse on her belt, so a money belt. And I'm seeing that this is on her right hand side, so she's very driven, she's worked towards her foundation, her stability. But on the left of her belt, there's not really much there. There's kind of in the middle, there's a knot. So what she would like to do is take this belt off and start to plant a seed here, maybe within her womb space here, and start to get grounded. Maybe this was about creating a solid foundation, a home, a viable, strong business as well, for her to create the nest that is needed in order to welcome abundance through having children, or even, if that's not what you want, having pets, a loving home where there's a lot of care and attention and nurturing here. This is very beautiful energy here. I feel like this person is definitely ready, this divine feminine. She's also someone who could be a vegetarian, someone that likes to eat lots of vegetables, lots of greens as well. Pentacles could be earth energy, which is Virgo, Capricorn, and also there's lots of other signs that are coming through. I'm also hearing Libra as well as Aquarius too. But you may have Taurus in your chart as well, as part of, I feel like divine feminines, for those of you who are tapping into this energy, who are maybe even married as well, or have had your nuptials recently, so congratulations, beautiful, wonderful messages coming through. I'm seeing that now is possibly the time that you're starting to think about the next 2 years of what your life is going to pan out, in terms of furthering your bloodline, extending your bloodline, extending your legacy in one form or another here. And there is something here where, you have created the foundation for that to happen. So just so you know, in terms of divine love, when the person is whole within themselves and they find union within themselves, they then start to attract other like-for-like vibrations. So really, if you're really looking to attract a higher vibrational match, in the form of another person on this planet, in this dimension, and in this reality, because it can happen in other realities too, and I am talking about metaphysics here, where you can also be very much in love with someone who is on a different timeline from you, in the same reality but on a different timeline. There could also be connections from your past as well, who you're just not meant to be in a connection with in this reality, but for those of you who are attracting a divine love in this timeline, on your timeline, as well as in this reality, in this dimension that you live in, that I'm channeling through this portal, through this camera, through YouTube, then, you know, this is your message here where you're attracting that. And in order to do that, you've got to find the balance and stability and strength within you first and foremost here. We're going to get some more cards, of course, so the other cards that are going to come through, I'm sure, will be reiterating what I'm speaking on. But yeah, I feel like this person has really done a lot of inner work here. You know, this is someone who's really found their drishti. They've found their you know, this also talks about karma dharma as well. So this is someone who's found their balance, their purpose, their life's purpose. Maybe they're creating their life's work at this time, you know, in the form of a pursuit that is their career, but is also in alignment with your gifts as well, and what you're here to create on this planet in order to give back, you know. But yeah, I do feel like this person has definitely found a lot of balance within their life, and in their life within a very short space of their own personal lifetime as well, which is beautiful. I want to go to the King of Air for 1 second, because I feel like what I'm tapping into here in these cards is the Divine Masculine energy. So Divine Masculines, if you are watching my readings, which I know a lot of you are and have been booking personal readings with me, as well as shamanic healing and art therapy classes with me, thank you so much. I also know that you are in connections with people, and you're also getting married as well, so this is beautiful, to your soulmate, you know, to your high vibrational match. I am seeing here that this is mainly divine masculine energy. The reason why I say this is there is a very strong energy coming through, a very purposeful, activated energy here, with air and fire here. With air and fire, there's a lot of like boiling up of energy, there's a lot of boiling up and maybe tension that needs to be released, either sexually or most definitely sexually, as well as you know, maybe through physical activity as well. You know, this would typically be the 5 of fire, which is the 5 of wands, right, which I talked about in terms of competition, fighting the good fight as well. Some of you have maybe been fighting the good fight, you know, on bringing in awareness and awakening other people to what's really true, in the form of what's going on in the media, maybe even in terms of what's being projected in terms of medicine, and what's good for you and what's not good for you in terms of medicinal things. So, for example, in Europe, cannabis is still illegal, or marijuana is still illegal rather, and in the States it's been legalized for at least 3 years now, at least since I left, which is funny, which is almost ironic because I left at the time. Actually, I left that year, so it was legalised in January, and I left the year later. So I think it's been legalised for about 3 years now, and it's become sort of like a corporate thing. Obviously, anything that usually tends to be legalised, I'll try not get on a tangent here. Yes, has been legalised, and is also of a beneficial nature to many people and humanity. It tends to be corrupted as well pretty quickly, and is used for monetary purposes. So some of you might be talking about this on your own personal platforms, or even in terms of your work. Some of you could be working in medicine, or even trying to get cannabis, or rather marijuana, legalized for its amazing, incredible health benefits. And we do know that there are many health benefits about that, about this amazing plant. Of course, with any person who has a psychological issue that is out of balance, this can trigger the reverse effect, or if not, it can create further addiction. But for those of you who are pretty balanced individuals, and who are not just here on this planet just to experiment for its own sake, I do see there's some ceremony work here that's taking place in honouring plant medicine, and this is something that is being thought of and thought about in terms of bringing this about for future generations, and also in mainstream medicine as well. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of boiling up of energy coming through, a lot of tension that's coming through from the divine masculines, where there's a lot of fire and a lot of thought here. Air and fire mixed together is combustible. You know, it's something that has to explode. Interesting. It's something that actually Amy had mentioned in her reading, which is quite interesting. It's coming through here. Again, I'm not surprised here because this is a general collective reading. And I feel like with the King of Air, which tends to be, you know, Libra, Aquarius and Gemini energy, which of course the divine masculine, which you are, for those of you who are tapping into this video, or for those of you who are dealing with the divine masculine, may not necessarily have this in their main predominant sun sign. This could be their moon sign. This could even be in their I am picking up this is the Mars energy here, which is fire, but this could be in their mental space. This can also be just an energy, okay? So please don't take the zodiacs as, you know, as verbatim, as it were. So with the King of Air, I see that there's someone who is definitely deep in thought here. This is thought. The words are coming to you reversed here. Someone who wants to alchemize, you know, someone wants to turn this frown upside down. I feel like they have been maybe quite sad without you here, with the mask here, that's of sadness. And in the cauldron, you see that air and that fire? Can you see that? Air and fire. With fire there is illumination and there's happiness and joy. With fire there's also true light as well. Usually, you know, fire comes from grandfather fire energy, yes, which is grandfather fire is a masculine energy. The Diné tribe associate every single plant, every single thing on this planet has a masculine energy and a feminine energy, respectively. And the grandfather fire energy is saying that there is a lot of activation, and this is coming, you know, from the sun. You can't hide from the truth of the sun. You can't hide from the truth of the light here. You know, when the torch is shining on you, the light and sun is shining on you, there's a lot of healing that takes place, you know, and a lot of truth that comes through as well. And a lot of magic, of course, here with the pentacle. This does talk about sacred connection and sacred protection as well, because this pentacle is surrounded by the white magic of the circle, which is usually when you participate in rituals, in high vibrational ceremony work, which is what I do. I do not deal with manipulation or negative, you know, vibrations or demonic energies at all. Not for once at all. Like this, if you dabble with this, you will pay the consequences of this. So I would be very, very aware of not practicing that, please. But yes, there is a lot of sacred energy here and protection. But regardless, there could be a masculine here, divine masculine. For those of you who are not in union or married to your person just yet, I know a lot of you are already in union or coming into union. There is an energy here of a divine masculine who definitely, of course, has heart eyes, with that lovely filter here, for someone who is also trying to manifest them, and this divine feminine is manifesting them, and they have a telepathic connection here. You know, they communicate telepathically through thought, but there is something that is hidden here, and it's that moon energy that's surrounding this divine feminine here, where there is something that is hidden that has not been expressed, and this is the loneliness that has been felt from both parties here. The King of Air would like to fight the competition here. Is daring anyone who tries to interfere in this connection, particularly other masculine energies who want to interfere in this connection. They will fight for their love here. And so there is a lot of thought and worry surrounding this connection from a divine masculine here. Although the divine feminine is sort of balancing the scales, but also holding the path here and the truth, and holding space for this union to take place here. With the King of Air, I would like to say that there is some truth that needs to be spoken here with the eagle, blurting out light language, as you can see, that's coming out of his eyes and through his guides that are the eagle. Again, the eagle is the energy of masculine energy, right? So it's the animal of the masculine, yes, so it's the male active energy. And this eagle has an all 360 degree knowing and awareness here. So they have the eyes to see, they have the eyes of prophecy. That's what the divine masculine has here. I will also say that this divine masculine is becoming more and more awake as the days go by. And maybe with number 14, this has been happening over the last 14 months as well. But there could have been a significant event for this divine masculine at the age of 14 that may have happened for them. They may have been bullied as children. I just want to point out, for being different, for looking different, for thinking different, maybe for speaking another language as well. I do see light language and thoughts here. This is someone who is very intelligent, very quick-witted, very communicative, very smart, has amazing ideas, also has come into maturity as well. For someone who used to express their ideas and what they were thinking in their head through their fist, has now become mature and has alchemized that anger into reflecting mode and transmuting that into thinking before they speak. Yeah, so I feel like that's the messages so far. I'd like to get a Archangel Power Tarot card from Spirit. Let's just see, Archangels, what would you like to say for the Divine Love Collective, please, Spirit? Thank you so much. Okay, there's one card that came through. 9 of Ariel. Your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. A love for the beautiful things in life. Yeah, so a lot of divine masculines have been working very hard, and also just generally in terms of divine feminine energy as well. This divine union is, I think it's coming to this journey for some of you, for a lot of you, is coming to a close, and your dreams are being fulfilled at this time. A love for the beautiful things in life. We're going to have a look at the little guidebook as well. I'd like to read about that for you. Let's just have a look at it now. Why not? So the 9 of Ariel. Ariel is the Archangel of fire, of creativity. For those of you who are desiring to go towards a project as well, to work towards something that you want to achieve, then Ariel is the Archangel for you. So 9 of Ariel is, your dreams are fulfilled. You've worked hard and now it's time to enjoy the finer things in life. You've acted with wisdom and been very cautious to ensure you make only the best choices. Your self-reliance has paid off. Now you have the opportunity to relax and enjoy life. A lot of divine masculines, but also divine feminines, have also really been fighting just the majority of their adult life, you know, and now it's time for them to just relax, you know, time for the harvest to come through. Your self-reliance has paid off. Now you have the opportunity to relax and enjoy life because you've earned it. You find spending time alone to be a very enriching and gratifying experience. There is a peace and well-being you only find in the quiet of your own thoughts. So you have thoughts here as well. So a lot of divine masculines are finding their strength through being on their own, tapping into God force energy, and really gaining further clarity as well, because the air energy does talk about clarity, and clarity in their communication as well. Now it's time to pursue spiritual interests as you continue to evolve and grow. Contentment, the beautiful things in life, retreating from the real world, home improvement and redecorating. So a lot of you, maybe you also like myself, have been redecorating and doing a lot of home improvement. I mean, I've been doing that in Italy and I've also been doing that in London as well. you know, just making tweaks as well. And when you give love to your own personal environment, it makes you feel really good as well within you, right? So I do see that here. Let's get one more, please, for the Divine Love Collective. Thank you. 8 of Gabrielle, a great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. Yeah, so what was it that I said about communication? So we have the 8 of Gabrielle, which is the 8 of Wands, something's very exciting. I know that a lot of YouTubers, a lot of readers like myself that do tap into divine love do talk about the 8 of Gabrielle, the 8 of Wands that keeps coming through in their spreads in terms of this divine physical union for those of you who are on this current wave, right? So this does talk about travel, lots of communication, movement, and I feel like there is a divine masculine here who is thinking and strategizing about how to be clear with their communication. There's a lot of activity, there's a lot of excitement here. You know, if you've ever seen, you know, birds feeding, and then suddenly there's kind of like someone closes the window, you know, they just sort of scatter, you know, and it's this like beautiful, incredible, angelic sound of wings, you know, just fluttering. And it's that kind of like sudden jolt of activity, sudden jolt. And again, we have air energy here. Gabrielle is also the archangel for those of you who are creatives in particular, or who have a dream to fulfill something that deals with writing, that deals with art, that deals with theatre, that deals with any kind of creative pursuit. Gabrielle is the one that will help you bring those messages in clearly for you. Let's just have a look at the bottom of the deck, and we have the 3 of Gabrielle again. So we have another Gabrielle card. So it's the 3 of Wands typically. The 3 of Wands is the opportunity that is coming through on account of this sudden communication or sudden activity. Prosperity arising from wise planning, time to take the next step. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. So there is divine masculine here who is expecting things to go in their favour here, I would say, with the 3 of Wands. And I do see here that they are willing and wanting and will. Their will is very, very strong and will fight off the competition here. Let's have a look at the 8 of Gabrielle. Let's just see. Archangel Gabrielle as well, I just want to say, is neither masculine or neither is a male nor a female. So it's, I believe, the only archangel who works in delivering messages that is not a male or a female. So I also feel like for a lot of you who this is going to be sensitive content, but a lot of you who are finding it difficult and struggling to identify yourselves as either male or female, I would say ask for Archangel Gabrielle's aid here. I just felt called to say that. Gabrielle, you might know a Gabrielle or Gabriel or Gabriella or Gabrielle or Gabriella or Ariel or Ariel. Okay, so 8 of Gabrielle. So suddenly things are moving at a very fast pace. All delays are over and now the sky's the limit. It may be a little overwhelming, but it also feels good to see your plans moving forward. It could feel as though there are too many things going on at once, so it will be necessary to stay grounded. It's important to have a very organised plan so that things don't spin out of control. New information or messages come your way. It's a good time to promote yourself or your business. Communication is accurately received by all parties right now. Okay, so whatever this clarity is all about in terms of communicating, you know, their true intentions, or your true intentions, divine masculines to your divine feminines, just be really clear in your thought first. Maybe write about it first, speak about it first, bring it into being through abracadabra, through invoking and through invocation, and be really clear. Think about it clearly, before delivering the messages. Sometimes these messages as well can, when you're in contact with your divine feminine, can just like blurt out, and that's totally fine as well. But just have a plan before, so that you follow it through. With Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries energy, this is definitely talking to me about Leo season where we are in right now. So we are in a current season of fire. So there's a lot of desire here. Again, I feel like there is a lot of, especially also for those of you who are same sex, particularly both, you're dealing with another male or another divine. If you are a divine masculine, you're dealing with another divine masculine, or if you are a divine masculine, you're dealing with a divine feminine who is a female. There as well is also there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of, regardless, I'm talking about divine masculine energy and divine feminine energy, regardless of physical sexual organs, okay, or physical preference or identity, So I just see that there's a lot of fire. There's a lot of desire here, and sometimes that tension can really, really build up, and it needs to come out. It needs to be expressed, and self-pleasuring isn't going to be enough. This is something that has to be expressed vocally and sexually as well with your divine counterpart, because otherwise it can really turn into a lot of anger, and anger can really cause a lot of havoc here, and sabotage as well. The best laid plans as well. I'm also hearing the best laid plans, something about best laid plans. I can't remember the idiom, but it's best laid plans, something. You probably know what I'm talking about here. So anyway, too many balls in the air, flashes of inspiration. Just having a bit of a giddy moment. Flashes of inspiration, immediate results. That was funny. Maybe there's a need for light humour as well, so that you don't just get so super frustrated as well. Let's now have a look. Let's now clear out this, and let's now have a look at the Island Wellness deck. I'm going to keep these to my side so I'm able to see them. And I put that there. Okay, so I do hope you're enjoying this reading so far. I also want to say that the divine feminine has balanced out their divine masculine energy within themselves as well, and I would say that the divine masculine is also really starting to welcome in their divine feminine attributes as well, more and more so. So that mystery, the element of receptivity, the element of psychic connection as well. They're tapping into their emotions more, and this is something that they're sort of almost battling in within themselves, dear ones, because I say themselves, but I say you, divine masculine, if this is you. It's like you have love hearts, but then you just like, there's so much tension between air and fire. There's so much tension between the air of what's unknown, and the fire of what will be. I do feel like this is destined. We have number 5, which is, there's a change in your own sense of, your own sense of being as well. A lot of you feel different from maybe the last 5 years. Something has changed you, and it's been this person, who seems, this divine feminine seems so amazingly balanced and zen. But, you may not have absolutely any idea of what they've been going through. They've also been thinking about you, divine masculines. Divine feminines have been lost without you. They've been really struggling. They've been really struggling to find the key to internal balance. On the outside, they look very balanced, but they've been juggling as well. They've been juggling their own commitments. They've been juggling their priorities. They've been unsure about this connection. They've been toing and froing. They haven't been sure about stepping forward or stepping back. you know, and they try to see into the future. They try to look into their own cauldron and see, you know, how can I gauge some more information, you know, and even when they tap into a divination, they're able to see amazing, happy, joyous memories that haven't been created yet. Remember, time is a circle, but there is this timeline that they're able to see where there's a lot of joy, a lot of love, a lot of happiness, and then they come out of that channeling, or they come out of looking through using divination, and they're just sort of so lost and forlorn, and they're just so unsure, like, how is this possible? Okay, so they're kind of like struggling with faith, I would say, divine masculines. The divine feminines have really been struggling with their faith. Let's have a look. Before I go here, I actually like to look at the Vera Sibilla. Please, angels, guides, ancestors, please bring the messages that we need to see for the divine unions that are taking place at this time. Thank you so much. Okay, there's going to be some more coming through there. But I will say that we have, there you go, la riunione, ammalato, la conversazione, la costanza, and malinconia. So this is exactly what I was tuning into, right? So remember how I spoke about there is someone here, this divine feminine, who is looking very strong and balanced, and, you know, is the pillar of their own family line, you know, or maybe they are already a mother and they look like they're holding it together, but really deep down they're kind of losing their crap. You know, they're just so forlorn with malinconia. They're just so melancholic. They're really finding it really difficult to keep going on, because they feel they want to physically embrace here with this other tree that looks like them. You know, there's a recognition of two souls here, and this divine feminine is seeing that there is another tree here, another column here, you know, that will help them have more balance in their life, and this is their divine match here, you know. And it's because there's an instant recognition, there's a knowing, there's almost like they can feel it, they can taste it, they can see it, they can almost touch it, but it's not quite there, and it's a real struggle for them to be going through. So with the Ten of Cups, the divine masculines are seeing the divine feminine as their wish fulfillment. 10 di coppe here, 10 of Cups. We could have 52, could be significant for you. We also have number 6, which for me talks about balance again, but also talks about the soulmate as well, yes? So we do see that here. And then here with malinconia, we have the 5, cinque di quadri, which is the 5 of Pentacles. So there's been a feeling of separation, there's been a feeling of loss, of heartbreak as well, lots of challenges in this connection, and I just feel like this divine feminine is almost kind of, she's lost for words, like she really feels like this connection may have ended, you know. We have 86 could be significant to you, or 35 could be significant for you. Okay. So let's keep going. So we have la conversazione. So what's going to be changing is, you know, divine masculines are going to be fighting the good fight. They're going to be fighting for the light, you know. They are a light worker themselves. They are a light warrior, you know. They are a warrior of the light, and they're going to be fighting the good fight. And they will do whatever it takes in order to speak and say the right things, you know, this time. With number 14 as well, 14, 4 and 1 adds up to 5. We have another 5 here. So 55, it talks about massive changes, absolutely huge changes here. And then with number 15, 16, 17, 18 as well. 18 turns into a 9, which is, again, we saw earlier with the 9 of Ariel, does talk about now you need to just, you've done all the hard work and now you just need to relax, you know, and just cool it and receive, you know. So I feel like divine feminines, you're definitely on your divine feminine power, and that does talk about receptivity here. And then we have number 2 here. 2 for me is telling me about the, you know, the soul, the double soul flame. Okay, so we have Donna Maritata. So we do have an energy here of a message here of the divine masculine, of obviously seeing the divine feminine as someone that they would like to commit to for the long run here. With Donna Maritata, this does talk about a wife. Some of you divine masculines are already married to your divine feminine. Again, congratulations. And also a lot of you are getting married to your divine feminine as we speak here. So, but yes, either way, this connection is going to end up in a very solid commitment here. For those of you who are not necessarily are in a strong belief of marriage, I do see this as a very important commitment for the long run. But I'm also hearing eternity. You know, when these divine unions come into place, it's healing so many ancestral pains as well, and so many struggles from your ancestors and what they had to fight for. Have you ever thought about, you know, what your ancestors had to fight for in order for you to have the freedom that you have today? Okay, so give thanks to them, but also know that you've got a responsibility here, and this is part of you gaining your mastery as a human being. As a warrior of the light, is to have faith, divine masculines. I'm speaking to the divine masculines here, this case, to have faith and to follow through and be a man of your word here, you know, a person of your word. Something that's quite rare nowadays, you know. You don't really find many people, men or females, who really are committed to their word and say what they mean and mean what they say. Yes, so this does talk about, again, how are you holding up your integrity in the world out there as well as in this connection here. Divine feminines, goes without saying, hold the faith here and continue to hold space here as well. And you are strong enough as well. Although, you know, for me personally as a divine feminine, like I've heard it so many times, like, you're so strong, da da da. It's like, you have no idea. You've no idea. Yes, I am very strong, but you also no idea like how difficult it is for someone like myself who, you know, it's almost like a pressure, you know. It's like sometimes you just want to just break down and cry, you know, and just not have to show your strength all the freaking time. You know, it's really exhausting. And strength for me, more and more as I've been doing the inner work on this journey, and the reason why I'm sharing this with you all is because a lot of you divine feminines feel the same as well. It has been a journey of understanding that crying, being emotionally expressive is also a sign of strength as well. And my voice is giving way now, but that's basically it. Because if you don't show your vulnerability, and if you don't speak your truth as well, divine masculines too and divine feminines as well, both of you just become sick, and your soul aches. Your soul aches for each other. So what I am seeing here is this. I'm hearing basta, which means enough of this aching here, you know. Enough of this aching here. And start to heal this connection, start to heal each other as well. You both need each other. You both need each other as much as... you both need each other, basically. And sometimes we just need another person, you know. And it takes two people to really work with each other and also show each other's strengths and weaknesses in the best way. You know, again, weakness and strength are interchangeable as well. So we have la riunione and we have ammalato. So, you know, there is no weakness in sharing your emotions here. There's no weakness in sharing your true feelings and how, you know, through your thoughts and through your actions here. And I feel like some of the divine feminines are going to be feeling a bit weak in the knees as well. When this truth is going to be expressed either way, you know, whether it's divine feminine or divine masculine, at this point it doesn't really freaking matter who initiates it at this point. You know, spirit just wants us to this show to just get going, you know, just let's get this show on the road, you know. because you got work to do, like both of you do. Don't think just for 1 second this divine union is just about yourselves. This is about, you know, again, helping and healing the world here. And I don't mean that in a fluffy way. It's like upholding integrity and being amazing lighthouses for true love, and lighthouses for strength, and lighthouses for vulnerability, and lighthouses for faith and trust. And you will be exemplifying that in your union. So we have La Riunione, as I said before, which is number 6, right? So we have 60, which turns into a 6. And number 4 is the sacred number of the Diné tribe. I'm not Diné tribe, but I do resonate. I'm actually Quechua, or Quichua, from my mother's side, which is a tribe from Colombia all the way through down to Peru. And we honour the sun god. So the sun god is all about I'm hearing divine retribution, that's for sure, but also about that masculine energy, of that fire. Yeah. So we also have Otto di Fiori here as well, which is the 8 of Wands that came through earlier. So this fast communication is going to be, you know, happening in contact with your person in the physical, and it's going to help and start to help heal those wounds here of loss. And the 4 of Swords as well, you know, there's a lot of pain here and suffering on your own, and lots of thinking and anxiety as well. And, you know, when we get into a mode of all of that anxiety and restless nights and everything, we need time to reflect and meditate and just recover. And finally, you'll be able to reap your rewards with each other and actually just recover together here. Do you see a lot of retreat energy here? We're going to look at the angel answers in a sec, as well as the romance angels too, as well as the island time as well. Island time wellness too, to give us some more information. And that's when new love starts. That's when you reconnect again. I do feel like it's going to be for the last time. You know, there's going to be a very important conversation that's going to take place here. Some of it could also involve other people here, in terms of family members, other, like your person's tribe, that says, okay, well, how are we going to, you know, square up the map here and start planning about their future? You know, this does talk about a very solid commitment, is what I'm seeing here. And we have 73 could be significant. We have 39 could be significant. Round that down to 10, 11, 12. This definitely will be happening within the next 12 months. And 1 and 2 is 3. I did go off on a tangent here, I just forgot, but with number 4 in the Diné tribe, 4 is a very sacred number. It's about the 4 directions. So again, this union is protected. You know, either way, it's protected. Let's just have a look at the bottom of the deck, and we have Messaggere. So we have a message coming through. So there is someone who is coming through, moving towards you to communicate, and we have number 11 to open up that door to, you know, for this union, this twin soul union to come through and connect here. So expect a message, or lots of messages. Number 71 could be significant, and number 19 as well could be very significant. So I'm going to put this back in the deck. Let's now have a look at the island time wellness deck. Let's have a look. Please, angels, ancestors, guides, please bring the messages we need to hear for the divine connector. Yes, look. So we have healing heart. Yeah, so we have healing heart here. So someone is mending their heart from heartbreak, from separation, maybe even from this connection or from other connections that they've had to heal from. This divine feminine is definitely has their heart open, as I mentioned before at the very beginning of this reading. They have that heart open and wide, I'm hearing. And they're open to receive. You see their body language? It's open, it's not closed. Okay? And so we have healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. Some of you divine feminines have also had to let go of, checking in on your divine masculine all the time. That can turn into an addiction as well, right? I'm just going to turn these around a sec. And so I see that there is healing that will be taking place here. I'm just going to move these out of the way. Let's have that here and there. And then we have camera, look, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, make memories. So a lot of divine masculines as well have gained maturity and have, stopped spying on their divine feminine as well, possibly. Maybe they're also looking at a keepsake of theirs. Maybe they have a keepsake from their divine feminine, a physical ornament or a physical thing, even a picture that they're looking at, in order to feel connected. And I feel like there's going to be an ending of that, and turning that over into a physical conversation, physical contact, communication that will be taking place in the physical world. But in the meantime, they have been healing as well, of course, as they've been, keeping tabs. And at the bottom of the deck, we have soulmate, So we have soulmate here, and it's, as I mentioned before, it's because you're soulmates. You're meant to be with each other here. Soul connection. We have another card peeping through. I'll read it in a minute. Partnership, agreement, and soul contract. Yes, so you both have a soul contract. My ears are ringing. So this is confirmation here. A lot of you definitely communicate with each other telepathically as well. You hear each other. When your ears start to ring, you're actually able to, your counterpart is trying to tell you something here, is what I'm seeing. How am I doing this? Like this. Okay. That's what I'm seeing here. Let's get... And then we have coffee cup. So meeting and conversing. Yeah. Meeting and conversing, savouring the moment, feeling uplifted, and friendship. So a lot of you have a friendship with this person. And there's going to be a meeting, maybe over a beverage of some sort. It doesn't have to be just a coffee cup. But this is the meeting that will take place to converse. Conversazione that we had here earlier. This could be in a day's time, a month's time, 11, 12, on the 12th of the month that you're reading this, listening to this video, 8, 9, 10, or the 10th of this month, of the month of this video. But yeah, I do see here that there is a conversation that will take place over beverage here. And you can see how also here there's also beverages, coffee or tea as well. So there's, there's communication that's taking place here. Absolutely. Let me just see, let me get some more. Is there any more messages that need to come through for the divine? Okay. Okay, it's quite a lot. Hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. So a lot of you divine masculines and divine feminines have been working very hard on your money. You've been working hard on your career, making money, building your foundation, all of these things that I mentioned earlier at the very beginning of the reading. But some of you have also been interrogating. You've been asking other people, you've been having conversations with people that know your divine counterpart as well, just trying to get information, interrogating them, asking them for information about your counterpart, in order so that you could get some more information, like gauge more about them, their character, their personality, do they stand up for integrity, all of these things and more. I also see a lot of you have also been sabotaging this connection because you don't believe it's true, or you don't believe, or you hadn't believed that you were worthy of it as well, worthy of this love I'm hearing. Then we have seduction here. So we have attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party interference. So a lot of you divine masculines have had, I'm going to read all of these cards about the divine masculines here, okay? So I see that divine masculines, you have absolutely been seduced by someone, maybe at your workplace, maybe someone that you work with, who has been trying to interfere in this connection. This could also be an ex of yours as well. Maybe this has happened during, Mercury in retrograde recently, where exes had come back to haunt you, I'm hearing. And you couldn't deal with the sexual tension anymore and you just had to release it. And so I do see here that, you fell for that temptation, But I just want to say, forgive yourselves and move on. Because yes, there could have been some attraction there, but I also see that this person knew that they just wanted to get something from you, and that was it, and vice versa, you from them as well. I don't see, again, it was just this tension that you had to release here. And this person and you fell for it, and they fell for it too, and I don't feel like there was any, this was just a one night stand situation. There wasn't anything like that was meaningful about this. Again, it was just about releasing this pain and this hurt, and I'm trying to understand this connection as well. The divine love connection is very intense and very awkward and very weird, but also so real as well, and surreal at the same time. Hand of cards, take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing hand, gambling. Some of you divine masculines have been gambling. Maybe this is something that you've been healing in terms of your toxic behaviors, toxic wounds as well. Again, another form of distraction too, divine masculines. I'm also hearing a siren, which is quite annoying, and I feel like there has been something that you've just found irritating. Maybe there's someone around you that has just been like trying to seduce you, trying to tempt you, and you just find them really irritating, but you also just needed to get that release and just hit that basically. And then, but there's been this repetitive cycle. And then here with the Ace of Swords, Ace of Spades, it's like that Motorhead song, the Ace of Spades, the Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades, it's the lucky card, it's like, are you going to gamble on something that is just not, is going to make you feel sick afterwards? It's going to make you feel dirty. It's going to make you feel, forlorn, withdrawn, drained. Some of you have also, I would say, have experienced some succubus energy as well. So a female demonic spirit in your dream space. And usually what happens is that you feel immensely drained after this sexual encounter with this demon, basically. And so with the Ace of Swords here, Ace of Spades, there's a need to cut that with a knife here, and you already have that. You've got, with the King of Air, this does talk about cutting energy, cutting negativity out of your life, seeing things clearly, closing our eyes and then opening your third eye to really see the truth of all things here. So God, please let me see the truth of all things here. Let me speak truth always with clarity and love and integrity here. And I also see stag horns as well. I just feel like there's the stag and deer medicine is a very sacred animal in North American tribes, and I would say also South American tribes too. Deer medicine is deers are able to have a lot of telepathy and psychic knowing, psychic awareness, as well as the deer is the feminine energy. Again, it's that energy of the feminine, so it's this psychic connection, and you've been trying to sabotage this psychic connection into a physical thing by entertaining third parties, and people that are just for carnal whims and fancies. Again, I'm not here to just cast judgment here. I'm saying that this is something that can happen, and I would urge you to forgive yourselves as well and just to move on. But some of you also, on account of that, are not showing your hand. You don't want to show your divine feminine of your approach and this conversation that will be taking place. And you're going to take a chance. You're going to take a gamble on life here, and you're going to work on it. You're going to work on this love. With abundance, keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want, gratitude and bliss. So what you want is this connection, that this conversation that will take place, and what you want will come through to you as long as you stay committed and you stay the course here, and have this conversation, have this eye-to-eye, heart-to-heart, connection and conversation, and meet each other, not just halfway, but meet each other and have this very important conversation that needs to take you further into your union, but also, into the commitment that you want as well, and start healing those wounds. And I do see a lot of abundance here. Abundance does talk about children as well as prosperity, love, magical energy. I'm also feeling something here where you're magnetically, like you charge each other up magnetically. So, you know, we have an aura. Okay, every single person has an aura. Some of our auras can be fractured and broken as well, on account of our environments, the people that we surround ourselves in, the cities, the towns that we live in, the things that we eat as well, the things that we say to ourselves too. And also family members, as well as any ancestral trauma as well that hasn't been cleared and dealt with. Our aura can be fractured. But I'm just feeling this like incredible surge in my own personal aura, and I'm feeling like there's like a magnetic field around me that's invisible and I can't quite see it. Just like, you know, when you feel two magnets and they're kind of like they can just feel each other, you know, without actually physically touching. It's that pull and it's just that invisible energy in between, where you're both going to be, when you have this conversation, you're both going to feel each other's chemistry very, very strongly, and you're going to feel each other's aura very, very strongly, because I do feel like I wouldn't say have 100% healed. I would say the 100% healing starts with you actually both being together in physical union. But yes, your aura is definitely clearer. Absolutely, your channel is clearer. And then we have girl talk, so time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment and having fun. So a lot of you divine masculines are seeing your woman, or your divine feminine, regardless of gender, you know, having time with friends and, you know, spending time with their friends and, you know, pretty available and happily single and just living in the moment and having fun. But what are you going to do with it? You know, you're not going to have fun and be single forever. So what are you going to do with it? Photography, looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. A lot of you are also listening to music as well. And, you know, having these images as well, maybe through social media or whatever nowadays. You know, there's an image of your divine feminine that you're looking at, but you're wanting to create new memories with your divine feminine. You know, for those of you, again, it doesn't matter which wave you're in, but this tends to happen, you know, when you're with that person, you before they were single, when you were single, you want to create memories, new memories with each other, basically, as a couple, which I think is perfectly normal. Palm tree, stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance and flexibility. So the palm tree, you know, can provide fruits and nuts as well, dates, but it's also very flexible and also very stable. So I will just say that there's a call for ending palm oil as well. So a lot of you are sabotaging companies in the sense of you're not eating products that are made from palm oil, essentially, because the orangutans are now completely have lost their homes. At least a huge percentage have lost their homes, just to the cruelty that is man, essentially. So divine masculines, a lot of you are going to be standing up for environmental causes of this nature as well. I do see that. And there is stability, you know, in this connection. It says, I like you. Someone likes you. Romance is blooming, fun, flirting, want to date. So this is something that will be in communication with each other, you know, on this date or when you're talking to each other. You'll say and you'll express to each other that you like each other. Unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection and attraction. So remember, there's lots of chemistry and there's a lot of love here. So, you know, what have you got to do to mend a broken heart is what I'm hearing. It's that song. So a lot of you are getting information, divine masculines, from songs here with love. You know, you're healing, your heart is being healed on account of you stitching it up, you know. Separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of future. A lot of you have had lots of thoughts, you know, about this separation. Both of you have, I would say, but I'm channeling the divine masculine right now. You know, a lot of you divine masculines are thinking about fighting off the competition because your woman is single at this time. And divine masculines, I see that, you know, there has been, and both of you, you've been missing each other, and there's been a lot of separation, you know, physical distance as well. You're thinking about each other and you're yearning for each other a lot. And then ascending, transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. Okay, so divine masculines, just stay assured that you are preparing for union and your connection is ascending into something beautiful here, divine union here. Let's get some messages for the divine feminine, please, Spirit. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's put these aside. So divine feminines, keys on a ring, many options, decision, unconventional, string along, one night stand. Yes, that they could be all of those things. So divine feminines, you might be, you may have lots of options, divine feminines. You're coming across as highly attractive, very single at this time as well. You know, you're socializing with friends, you're living in the moment, you're having fun. You're also very unconventional. Many people may think that you string them along, and I don't think that's necessarily the case. I feel like you're very magnetic. But yes, you do have an important decision to make, especially with number 2. It does talk about decisions. I also see keys on a ring as something maybe you have, yes, lots of options, lots of possibilities for travel, to move, relocate, to live in different places in the world or different homes. Maybe there's an option of 3 different homes, but also maybe there's an option that you would like to give your divine masculine in terms of moving in with each other as well. Healthy choices, divine feminine. So make healthy choices about your diet as well. Making healthy choices in love and in life. Self-love, self-care, and being happier. So divine feminines, I feel like you are doing that, and you're continuing to do what you started on your mission of divine union within yourself, you know, balancing out and healing out your own wounds and addictions too. And you're making healthy choices in your love life, and you're making healthy choices in terms of the food that you eat as well. Do you remember how I mentioned vegetarianism, or just eating healthier, organically as well, locally? The Grim Reaper, the relationship is over, no second chances, grow and transform your life. Very powerful card here. So we have the Grim Reaper, talks about death, so there is a transformation. A lot of you have gone through divine feminines, which, as you probably know by now from my readings, divine feminines, you have gone through a physical transformation, maybe intentionally, but also, let's say, consciously, through the food that you've been eating, through the company that you've been holding as well, that you've been entertaining as well. And there has been a complete ending from your past, and you're ready now to move into a new transformative part of your life here. Some of you have had a relationship which was over. Some of you may have definitely felt like a relationship was over. Do you remember how I mentioned here we have malinconia? So, you know, some of you thought that this connection was over even, but actually it's a transformation that is taking place here, and it's going to help you both grow here, I would say. So you've got the crucifix there and the Grim Reaper. Okay, so we have stabbed in the back. Heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. Divine feminine, some of you have been dealing with some, witchcraft as well. Maybe someone has tried to put the evil eye on you. We also have sabotage. So some of you have had an ending of people trying to sabotage you and this connection, stab you in the back, betrayal, and there's an ending and transformation away from pain, away from heartbreak, and away from shocking attacks as well. A lot of you divine feminines are incredibly attractive and magnetic. All of you are. And it's this incredible beauty that you have, and sometimes people feel like they can just try to possess it, and they will do whatever they will in order to do that, and to hurt you and to try and own it and take it. And a lot of it can be quite criminal, and it can also involve you bringing in some legal documents involved too. Personally, this has actually happened to me. This happened to me last year, from someone that I thought I trusted, and this was a so-called friend, and there's a lot of envious energy and a lot of jealousy, and this person had done something heinous, absolutely heinous, or at least an attempt for a heinous crime. Because I'm a psychic, and because I have people in good places in the higher realms, but also people, my people, my friends, who are able to tap in as well to what's going on in the spiritual world, in the spiritual realm. They were also able to see and confirm what I was getting a hunch on, and it was unbelievably heinous. It was a crime against humanity in the sense that it was a crime against the feminine. It was one female doing damage on another female, and that the victim of that would have been me. And luckily, that did not happen, and I was able to prevent that from happening. Thank God. So a lot of you who may have experienced that yourselves, where, you know, people will do weird things in order to get what they want or get what they believe that they should have. And so even your own so-called sisters, quote unquote, other females, will try to mar you. And it's because they have unhealed wounds. They are also females in particular who are the distorted female, okay? So yes, they don't want you to do well. They don't want you to do well in any capacity whatsoever. And I just feel like there's an ending of that, of heartbreak and pain and betrayal and confusion and bewilderment as well, and deceptive energy. Kisses, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. Okay, beautiful. So there's a transformation and an end of pains, and in this connection there's a transformation and ending of separation, and there's also now unconditional loving energy, physical touch, physical expression is offered through kissing and hugging and things like that. So of a loving nature, so falling in love as well. So divine feminines, this is your message here. And then we have cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Some of you divine feminines have absolutely been traumatized for these things that I've mentioned that you may have experienced yourselves, where you may have been dealing with PTSD on account of these traumatic experiences, and you may have had to seek counsel for that. Divine feminines, there's also something that this thing or whatever has happened in the past through heartbreak as well, through romantic relationships. There's something that you are healing here, and you're becoming stronger as well. I'm stronger than yesterday. Oh my God, I'm hearing Britney Spears. I was like, who is that? Stronger than yesterday. Da, 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 for a mile away. Da, 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 da. Anyway, it's in my head. But a lot of you are listening to music in your head. You can hear music, and there's information that's coming through. But it's also like whatever has been past has passed, and it's outdated. It's no longer, you're no longer going to be bringing that into your future here. And a lot of you are healing codependency, addictions, obsessions, possession, controlling energy, and people that have put a hex on you as well. So, and restraint. So there's an ending of that as well, divine feminines. Bottom of the deck, self-indulgence. Focus on self-worth, divine feminines. Time to heal. Focus and heal your shadow as well, and self-appreciation. So continue to do the self-work, and know that you are worthy, for those of you who are still healing those wounds as well. And you may have dealt with a runner in your past, but that's because there was a fear of intimacy. So, divine unions. Let's just have a look now. Let's just try and wrap this up now, because it's already an hour in. Okay, so let's have a look at the angel answers. No, let's look at the romance angels. What do the romance angels have to say? Gosh, that's turned upside down. It's like, okay, what do the romance angels have to say, please, Spirit? Thank you. Romance angels, thank you. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Yeah, so you're going to get to know each other more and more. Heart-to-heart conversation. Remember, I spoke about conversation. There's coffee, there's dating, there's meeting, conversing. You know, there's beautiful energy here where you're both talking to each other. You're flirting. There's an upliftment in a friendship, and there's an elevation as well. And you're savouring the moment, both of you. There's going to be a heart-to-heart conversation. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Now is the time. There's a lot of need to physically be in each other's space and communicate as well. And a lot of you, again, are healing codependency as well, you know, from other relationships too. Let's keep going. Romance angels, what else is it that the collective need to know? Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. New love. There's new love, you know. There's a new person that has stirred your romantic interests. You know, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings, but I feel like this person, you already know who they are. So this is new love, this is new romance here, you know, beautiful energy. I also feel like there is someone here that likes your feet as well, divine feminines. So you might be dealing with someone that really loves your feet, your body, also the way you dress as well. You're very unique. And they like the way you dress, they like the way you look, they like the way you smell as well. And I feel like they're just going to be falling at your heels, you know. Because they worship you, they really respect you and love you as well. Trust in this connection, get closer to each other. This situation is calling you. Sorry, there was a fly. Where did it go? I have no idea where it went. That's so funny. So I just kind of had to shoo it away, and I feel like that's something that you have to do as well, people. Is you're just going to have to shoo people away, you know, that are just interfering in your channeling, interfering in this conversation. If there's distractions around you, it's no, just focus on the conversation at hand here. Focus on each other. Focus on each other's eye-to-eye contact, you know, look into each other, be in each other's space, you know, not in a disrespectful way, but just get to know each other more and more and more. And trust. There's reconciliation here. Again, we have riconciliazione that came through, or rather la riunione. So this is again confirmed. Remember how I said that the cards will confirm what I was saying at the very beginning, and this is what's happening here. So you're seeing me shuffle as well. So someone from your past life is returning to your life. So this is the person, your soulmate from your past, who's coming back. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. And then we also have deception. So someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. I would say it's both of you. It's because both of you have been fearful of maybe being hurt again. And so you had to put a mask on. Maybe you had to play some sort of game. But there's an end of that. There's an end of deception here. It's because both of you are going to be having this, you know, heart-to-heart conversation, very important conversation. And it's because both of you find each other very attractive. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And it's because both of you are healing each other and finding love within yourselves first and foremost, right? It's safe for you to love. It's safe for you to love. Okay, so start to continue to open your heart, divine feminines and divine masculines within this union. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And what's the highest energy of all? It's love. Okay, so that is what I have for you in terms of the romance angels. We're now going to get just a few more cards from the I forgot what this deck is, but I'll put it in the description box. Oh, I also want to see, just before I do that, I actually want to see the past life cards to see what past life is being healed at this time in your connection. Male, female. So a lot of you were either a male in your past or a female in your past. And what you're healing is this balance of opposites as well. As I mentioned before, you're balancing you're balancing the opposites. So you're balancing the divine feminine, divine masculine within yourselves. And in this lifetime. And so, for example, some of you had a very strong masculine archetype. And now in this lifetime you're becoming more of the feminine archetype, you know, regardless of gender. So that's what's happening, and this is what's being healed and coming through in this connection as well. In this lifetime, for example, if you are a female and you're dealing with a male, you may have been in a relationship with them in your recent past life where you were the opposite. You were a male and they were a female, for example. And what's being healed and also what had been triggered is leaving or travel. So a lot of what's being healed at this time in this connection is this feeling of abandonment, I would say, and distance as well. But I would say, yes, distance makes the heart grow stronger and fonder, but also it's something that you're healing where you're trusting that they're going to be coming back as well, because a lot of you have this PTSD from another lifetime where they just did not come back. Maybe it was because of the wars, maybe it was because they had to travel somewhere in order to do something and there was an accident or something had happened and they just weren't able to come back, you know, or they just didn't come back because they chose to be with someone else who was deceptive, was a very low vibrational karmic love, you know. And again, karmic loves do come back into every single lifetime until that individual, that soul, has learnt that pattern and recognizing that soul, that karmic soul, in a different mask, you know. So I feel like you've been healing that. So let's have a look at the Lenormand. Okay, so a lot of you are going to be having a childlike innocence. A lot of you are going to be having more fun in this connection. It's time to flirt, I would say. It's time to be light-spirited. It's time to transform this connection into something high vibrational, even higher, if that's possible. Yes, it is possible. With number 13, it does talk about the Death card and transformative energy here. The Page of Swords, it does talk about the end of spying, the end of researching, the end of keeping tabs on each other, and it's a new beginning starting here in terms of new love. The Snake, what did I say about that karmic person from another past life that wears different masks, many faces? Yeah, so there's an end of this, there's an end of being attracted to low vibrational people alone, and an ending of trickery, an ending of betrayal, seduction, involvement with, you know, people who are very low vibrational here. I would say the Snake. I also want to say that some of you Divine Feminines could be not your Divine Masculine's usual type, but there's an allure there, and you yourselves may have been put into a third-party situation where you were seen as the other woman, for example, or the other man, or the other person, but actually you were like a pitonessa, so someone who is an oracle, you know, and really is able to see through their third eye, and he's able to use divination for the right cause. So I would say be careful with this card because it can be read in two different ways. We have the Queen of Wands here. So Queen of Wands is incredibly attractive, incredibly magnetic. Do you remember how I mentioned magnetism earlier? Incredibly magnetic, incredibly self-empowered, has a lot of free will, self-assured, passionate, ambitious, is also quite intimidating to many people, not because they are intending to do that, not because they're trying to do that, it's just they come into a room and they shine a light in the room and people feel really intimidated because they're shining an element of their own self, their own shadow that needs to be healed and needs to be elevated. And so this, I would say, can also be a Divine Feminine. So Divine Feminines, you may have been put in this situation where you were maybe ostracized for practicing spiritual arts of a high vibrational nature as well, but and are different from your Divine Masculine's usual type. But there is also Divine Masculine here who may have dealt with a snake as well from their past life, and there is an ending here with the Grave of, again, deception here. So there's an ending of that, you know, an ending of betrayal, Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. It's an end of burdens, end of betrayals, and there is that 8, that karma that is being cleared out. And then the Fox, again, there's deception, treachery. Again, there's an ending of this, Nine of Wands now. So we have Nine of Wands, Nine of Pentacles as well. So there's an end of betrayal, there's an end of burdens, you know, carrying burdens, an end of anxiety, an end of overwhelm and feeling overexhausted, and the end of also working too hard as well, to the point that you're just burning out, you know. And again, it's that energy of an ending of being overwhelmed with your feelings as well. I feel like it's with 99, you know, it's going to be expressed one way or another. With the clover, we have luck here. So this is a short time goal here in terms of luck. The clover is something that is happening momentarily, could be happening again within 2 days, 2 weeks, you know. So there is luck and happiness and hope and an opportunity that's coming through, a reward as well, fortune. And with the Six of Pentacles, this is something where someone wants to give back to this connection, wants to balance out the odds as well, and, you know, take a risk, take a chance on love. I'm hearing ABBA, take a chance, take a chance. And happiness again, happiness prevails, but I feel like it's just a small, short window of opportunity that will come through, and joy. But is it going to last? You know, it's up to you, depending on, you know, your own belief in this connection. I feel like it is with the Sun card. The Sun shares a light and happiness and healing and joy and clarity throughout all of the cards and throughout this whole reading. The Sun is that light, that gateway of opportunity, of beauty, of healing. It's the Ace of Pentacles. It's that new start in a relationship as well. It's that offer. It's that new chance, you know, something stable, something that's rooted here. And we have 31, so this could be the 31st of August. You know, the Sun is August, essentially. The Sun is a Leo card here. A lot of spiritual healing here, a lot of success here. Beautiful energy, lots of clarity, lots of healing, lots of pleasure. Maybe a time in the sun, maybe time to holiday and retreat with each other here. We have the Mountain. You know, it's been a difficult hill to climb, a difficult mountain to climb. It's been a challenge. There's been crevices. There's been there's trust has had to be involved here. There's been lots of obstacles and blockages, and I'm seeing like one of you you've been holding a rope with each other, and this is actually the red cord of divine fate that both of you have with each other, and you've both been connected to each other. And like, if one of you has fallen, the other one is able to catch you. But metaphysically, spiritually, you've been able to heal, but also balance each other's pain as well. Again, it's something inexplicable because it's not been seen in the physical, but it's definitely been felt in the spiritual. And with the Mountain, with the Eight of Wands, I do see that there has been, it's been a long climb, but I feel like you're almost at the end of your burdens and your pains, and you're gonna be victorious, and you're gonna be able to stand on top of that mountain and be able to see how far you've come in this whole journey, but also in your own personal journey too, and heal, because it's a question of time. You know, this does talk about fate, I would say, with the clock tower. With number 19, 9 and 1 is 10, so it's wishes fulfilled, endings, beginnings, new cycles here. And we have the Six of Swords, and it's moving away from difficulties, it's moving away from anguish, it's moving away from painful situations. Could even be, you know, relocating as well. And this does talk about maybe an ending of separation, but maybe something to do with more structure that's going to be involved. Maybe authority is involved. Maybe a need to have a bit more objectivity, as well as enlightenment as well, that's coming through, doubled with the Sun card here. Bottom of the deck, we have the Stars. You're both wishing for each other. You're both hoping for each other. You're both desiring each other. Here with the Six of Cups here, it's because you are a soulmate energy. Both of you recognize the childlike innocence of each other's soul, and that's why you keep coming back to each other. And I feel like this is the end of that back and forth on this wave that I'm reading in, and you're going to be coming together in order to heal. You're getting a lot of signs. Maybe you're tapping into astrology and looking into your astrology. Maybe you're getting cartomancy readings as well. There's a lot of divine timing at play here as well. A lot of infinite abundance. A lot of dreaming here, I would say. dreaming for each other, dreaming for the best, hoping for the best. I kind of want to just get one more card and then I will promise to close it. Which card should we get, Spirit? Sorry about that. Which card should we get, Spirit? Let's get the angel answers. Okay, let's get angel answers, please. Message for the divine unions taking place, please. Trust, again. Trust. That's all you need is trust and let go. Let go. Spirit has your back here. Let go and trust here. Okay? That's all you need to do is just trust and let go. Because you've been focusing on yourself. You've been focusing on what makes you happy. You've been focusing on what makes you feel balanced. And you're trusting your heart and what your heart is telling you to do, essentially. Let's just get one more. And we have Major Arcana by Frida Designs. Let's get one more. Please can we get a message for this divine union, please, that's taking place. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. And we have the Wheel of Fortune here. The Wheel of Fortune is coming through in your favour here. Things are going to be changing, I would say, quite rapidly in your favour here. It's just a question of divine time. Things are definitely evolving in your connection. They're changing. Your connection is changing. It's evolving. It's ascending. It's upgrading. And there is a need to trust and let go because Spirit has your back here. Your Spirit team as well has your back here, and they're overseeing this connection. So we have number 10. It's like a complete cross ending of your past here and a beginning of a new journey here on account of your focus, your self-mastery as well, and getting away from people that are just a temptation as well. So that is what I have for you, beautiful souls. If you would like a private reading from me, you know where to find me. My readings are now open as well. You can book directly on my website. All the information is in the description box if you would like any healing service, any healing modality. All the information is on my website. Again, you can book there. Loving you and leaving you. If you like these divine love messages, please do let me know. I'm going to be doing them at least once a month rather than on a weekly basis, but I'll tap in as much as I can. Okay, so sending you many blessings. Take care, beautiful souls. Love and light. Bye for now.